Now in this section I want to talk about different areas and creating different areas in OSPF in MikroTik. So let's decide on which routers are going to go in which area. For example, I want to have area 0 such as this. Let me select a color like this color, and I want to put different interfaces into different areas. So this is gonna be the area that I am selecting. I go this way, and these interfaces are all going to be in area, for example, backbone. So I'm going to name this area backbone. The other area that I am going to create is this one. So this is gonna be like this. This is gonna be area 35, for example. And I'm going to have another area like this. This area is gonna be area 1, 2, 3, or 123. So let me name these here. I want to select this brown color and type here area 123. This is gonna be area 0, and this is gonna be area, let me type this, area 35. Okay, now one thing you should know about is this: you should connect all areas to area backbone. So at least one router should be in area backbone and in the area that you want to have. Let me copy all of these and take them a little to the left so that I can show you some more detail about this. Okay, now you can see that router 3 is in 2 or 3 different areas. Router 3 has an interface in area 35, it has interfaces in area 0, and it has interfaces in area 123. This kind of router that has interfaces in different areas is called area border router. I'm sorry for the bad writing, this is because I'm writing with the mouse. So this kind of router that has interfaces in different areas is called area border router. And in OSPF, area border router has a very huge and very important role. I'm going to talk about these roles later. So another ABR that we have is router 2. It has interfaces in area 123 and in area 0. So how do I configure such configuration in MikroTik? First of all, I want to go to router 1 and change the configuration like this. If I open router 1, I need to introduce the new areas here. So I go to areas tab. As you can see, there is only one area and it has an area ID attached to that. I need to click on this plus sign and create the area, and I'm going to have number instead of names here. Area 123 is the number of the area. So it is in compliance with other routers such as Cisco routers that accept only area name. The instance is going to be default. I'm not going to touch this instance until I'm going to talk about MPLS. The area ID, you can add an area ID, and I'm going to choose a very simple name. And you can see that this is a 4-octet IP address shaped area ID. And the type of area is going to be default. I'm going to talk about area types later. So I click on OK. Now I have an area in the name of 123. So the next thing I need to do is to put different networks into this area. So I should go to network, click on these networks, and based on my design, all of the interfaces of router 1 are in area 123. So area router 1 is not an ABR, it is just an area router. It is a simple router that is in area 123. So I put these here. This one is going to be in area 123, and this one is going to be in area 123. So you should see that it is very easy to create areas in area tab. You need to assign an area ID to this and put it in the correct instance and choose the default type or any other type that you want to have. And after that, put the networks in these areas. As you can see, interfaces now have lost all of those neighborship except one that is going to be NBMA, and it's because NBMA does not send or receive any hello messages. Okay, now I'm not going to have any neighbor until the neighboring interfaces come into this area. If two interfaces want to be neighbor, they should be in the same area. So if I want to be neighbor with router 2, I need to make sure that Ethernet 2 of router 2 is in the same area with my Ethernet 2. And for router 3, Ethernet 1 is in the same area as my Ethernet 1 is. So let's go to router 2 now. On router 2, I'm going to create area 123 here. Under area, click on plus sign. The name is 123. The area ID can be 123, 123, 123, 123, just to be clear and simple. Click on OK and go to networks. And now, which interfaces are going to be in area 23? As you can see, I am selecting Ethernet 2, and actually I want to have my loopback 0 interface in area 123. So I will select these two networks and put them under 1, 2, 3. So I select this and select this. And now you can see that 192.168.24 is in backbone. I am an area border router because I have different networks in different areas. So if I go to interfaces, you can see that now I am neighbor with router 4, and I am neighbor with router 1 right now. And loopback 0 does not need to create neighborship because that's a loopback interface. Now let's go to router 3. Again, router 3 has 3 different areas. Area 35, area 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to create these areas on router 3. So let's go to router 3, go to areas, and add these 2 different areas. This is one of them is 35. This is going to be 35, 35, 35, 35. This is a default type. Click on OK and add area 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's default type. Click on OK. Go to network, and let me check the diagram. I have router 3's loopback interface in area 0. So this is going to be an area backbone. I have 34, 34, 34, 34 in area backbone. I have 172, 16, 35 in area 35. And I have 10, 10, 13 in area 123. So now I have different interfaces in different areas. This makes my router an area border router. So if I go here, I can see that Ether 1 is going to create the neighborship in a moment. And of course, Ether 3 has its neighborship created. So I'm going to troubleshoot in a moment and see if there is a problem with this Ether 1, but I need to make sure that on router 1 I have put all interfaces in area 123. And Ether 1 is a non-broadcast multi-access. If I go to NBMA neighbor, you can see that there is no area mentioned here, so I don't need to be specific about this, but I just want to have this. So if I go to 123, I can see that now, yes, I have created the neighborship with router 3 and everything is working just fine. That's it. Let's go to router 4. On router 4, I have all interfaces in area 0, so I don't need to touch router 4 actually. And on router 5, I need to change the area to 35 and put all interfaces in area 35. So I go to router 5, go to areas, create a new area that is 35, and the area ID is going to be 35, 35, 35, 35. Click on OK, go to networks, and make sure that these two are all in area 35. That's it. Double click on that, change the area, and click on OK, and go to interfaces and see the neighbors coming up on interface Ether2 after a moment. Now I have different areas. So what is the use of different areas? I can see that this is the neighbor that just came up. What is the use of different areas? I have some specific needs, and for that I created these different areas. One of these needs is I have a large number of routers and I want to put them into different areas so that I can manage them easier. So how could I manage them easier? I can reduce the number of multicast going and coming from different routers. I can, go for different routes, and I want to manage bandwidth, and I want to manage different metric types. This is easier for me to work with them. And there's something else. I may have routers in different geographical places. So this is a very nice, thing to, put these routers into different areas and manage them separately, like this. Now, what happens when I have different types of areas? I will see different LSAs, and I'm going to talk about these LSAs in detail in next section. So just take a look at these LSAs and make sure that everything is is routable. If I go, for example, to router 5, I need to make sure that a ping to, for example, 1111 that is in area 123 is successful, and as you can see, it is successful. And after making sure the reachability is there, I will go and talk about different LSAs.